We've got an ongoing issue with the autopilot. Today's going to be quite a long day. We know we've got at least 40 miles to go. So we're going to take turns, 2 hours on, 2 hours off, I think. Anyway, yeah, it's lovely and a beautiful morning. Flat at the moment. We're just motoring out of the bay and we'll see what happens when we get to the end of the bay. So it starts. Another cloudless day.
Rather magnificent, but we're having to contend with these easterly swells and not a lot of wind at the moment, so it's quite rolly, pretty laborious really. A little bit like yesterday's events, in which I had to take everything out of the lazarette to have a look at that autopilot. Well, I say have a look, but actually what I did was I emptied the lazarette and dried it out. There's quite a bit of water ingress coming up through the rudder stock, so I had to re-grease that and just let it dry out. And I'm happy to report that at the moment we have our autopilot back. Sailing's one thing, but just motor sailing, it's hard work. Anyway, the fact is we're making progress. I'm just going to come around the top and then we're going to head due west and perhaps get this swell directly behind us as opposed to on our hind quarter. See, Ollie's putting us to shame. He's looks like he's pulled out his genoa. He's basically running goose wing, which is what we should be doing. We are not, simply because I am lazy and I just can't be bothered to pole it out today. So all we've done is just prevent the mizzen, whereas he's racing along. He said he's hit 8.5 knots, which is great, and he's going to be overtaking us. He said it's the first time he's ever overtaken someone, so I thought it could be quite fun just to get the pole out just as he's about to overtake and speed off again. But we'll let him have his moment of glory and continue to make him look, make me look lazy, which I am. It's embarrassing.
I think these days one of the biggest luxuries for any of us is time, is having time to do all the things that we want to do, having time just to relax. On a boat, sailors will tell you when you're underway, when you're on a passage, particularly a long passage, you have a lot of time to think. A rare commodity in these very difficult and hard times. So even though we are motor sailing, we're not sailing. It's going to be about 8 to 10 hours today. Even though, you know, it's perhaps not the perfect sail, still time to just sit and ponder.
Away from the swell and away from the wind is the little port of Brenti. Well, I mean, call it a port, I don't think it's even that, to be honest. It's obviously a good spot for the spider boats. Hopefully the wind will stay in the right direction and they will stay away from us. You know what I think of spider boats at anchor. Yeah, it's a nice little spot this, tucked up behind the headlands where it's nice and comfortable and cosy. You never know, we might spend 2 days here, not sure. Tired. One thing I will say is, thank God the autopilot is working once more. Well, this is my kind of trip. Sails out, engine off within 5 minutes of leaving the anchorage. Sails perfectly balanced. Autopilot isn't bloody working again, but it doesn't matter because the sails are balanced nicely. The wheel is just turned off from the centre and I haven't touched it for 5 minutes so far, and it's holding its course, which is nice. Flat calm seas, stiff breeze, hitting 15 knots. Jib and jigger. Nice and comfortable. beautiful cutter rig Ketch we just went past. I looked it up. It is sailing vessel Mir, M-I-R, and it's a 1910 113 foot Ketch, as you saw, and it's working for a sort of charitable foundation that goes around to all the islands in the Coral Triangle and helps educate the local people on the environment and conservation issues. So obviously got a real story to tell and great heritage. Would have been nice to have chatted to those guys, and of course she looked beautiful with all her sails out. That's Ketches for you.
One of the ways of knowing that you're in Indonesia is the constant sound as you go past the islands of chainsaws. So here we are, chainsaws going on behind me. We've got blinkers going off in the cockpit, but I just thought I needed to say something very quickly. Last night's anchorage was gorgeous. It was quiet. It was obviously clearly a fishing village. No tourists, no noise, no sound. Apart from when they started going off this morning about 4:30 with their very, very loud outboards. Today we have sailed pretty much the entire way. It's been really good. All the winds, everything's been in our favour, so it's been a really good, lovely passage, just how you like them. And we're coming into our next destination, which is the island of Moyo, Pulau Moyo, where Princess Diana apparently came at some point. I don't know. We'll find out a bit more when we're there, but just wanted to say what a lovely day it's been. No autopilot. Strange. After yesterday we had it all the way in all that bad weather. Today it wouldn't play. So it's something we have got to sort out before we can get to Belaton. These things always do resolve themselves in the end.
Moyo is quite a big island off of the northwest corner of Sumbawa. We came up the other side a couple of months ago, but now we're down the west side, and obviously we have protection from the southeast winds. And this particular location is famous for its waterfall. I didn't know this, but apparently Princess Diana came here and famously bathed in the pools of the waterfall. Had no idea about this. That's not why we're here. We're just here because I've seen the pictures and it looks like a super impressive waterfall.
It's all very well looking at pictures, but getting there was the first hurdle. You can hike the trail. It's about 5 kilometres from the village, but it's so hot that anyone with any sense hires a man with a scooter to take you there. Well, we got here. It was the most exciting ride I've had in a long time, like being at the fun fair. One thing I have to say is that I'm really glad that we didn't go with Jamie's original plan, which is to have a bike each and get ourselves here, because if we had done that, we would still be about 20% of the way here, I should think.
I wanted to record some of the journey, but you need 3 hands to hold on to the bike. I almost came off the back at one point.
Keep watching this video to the end and you'll see he did get the return footage.
So these are our 2 drivers.
Sanusi.
Sanusi.
Yes.
The Appliance of Science.
Faisal.
Faisal.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was really good fun. Now looking forward to seeing the waterfall.
This is basically the track that I'm walking on. That's what we came on the bike. I can already hear the waterfall, and we've come at the right time of the day. It's first thing in the morning, just gone 8. So we've got the morning light coming through. It's not too hot, and of course the main thing is there are no other tourists here as well. It's almost like autumn. There's a lot of dead and dying leaves falling off the trees here. And here we are at the waterfall. My God, look at this. Wow. Wow.
But we were less than halfway, and this was only the beginning of the Mata Jitu Waterfall, aka Princess Diana's waterfall. The best was very definitely yet to come. I suppose it's been said 100,000 times before, but it is like something out of Tolkien. Incredibly beautiful, very spectacular, huge plants, everything's really big. This is pristine forest, so wow, and we're the only ones here.
I've just heard Liz describe this as Tolkien-esque. I'm Not quite as descriptive as Liz. First thing I thought of was Jumanji. It kind of belittles the experience to compare it to such a silly Hollywood movie. But it is one of those places where it is just like a Hollywood film set, and you can see where set designers got their inspirations from. When you think of waterfalls in the rainforest, in the jungle, big falls and big pools, creeper plants and palm trees fringing both sides of the river, this is it. This is where they get their inspiration from.
We followed the trail further into the rainforest with the sound of tumbling water filling the air. Every twist and turn revealed another spectacular sight. Finally, we arrived at the pools where Diana, Princess of Wales, frolicked 30 years before.
Waterfalls are not really my thing. Water tumbling down a mountain, yeah, okay, alright, I don't really get it. Seen a few good ones in my life. I have to say, I can understand the hype around this one. It is very beautiful, very unspoiled. You do get people coming here, but not many, because it's a right old trek to get to this island, and then getting to the waterfall itself isn't easy. And then once you're here, you have got the beautiful waterfall, all these natural pools, perfect for just having a quick dip, which I might try and do. And then you've got the most superb trees and foliage overhanging all the way round. It's like it's been planted by a fabulous landscape gardener.
Help me! Well, that was absolutely delightful, that was. I can't explain, as a yachty, constantly surrounded by salt water, not just in the water but in the atmosphere as well, to be submerged in completely fresh water it's a real treat. And I jokingly said to Liz we should have brought our laundry here and done our washing. The water isn't actually that cold. It's cold, but it's not a shock to the system. And as you saw, we managed to get Liz in as well.
It's all that kerfuffle having to get all your clothes off and getting the swimming suit on and then taking it all off and you're all wet and putting all your clothes back on. But I stopped being a twat, made myself change, got in the pool, and bloody lovely, and I'm really glad I did. Probably the cleanest I've been this year.
Yeah, real delight. Definitely worth the effort getting down here. I could spend all day here actually.
But we couldn't stay there all day. We needed to get back to Esper. And that meant a return trip through the jungle and another hair-raising bike ride to the village with Sanusi and Baichal.
Here we are back at the bikes, and Liz has had this great idea that we swap bikes and I take the GoPro, that's one of them starting up, and see if we can just record just a little bit just to give you a taste of what this journey is like. So she's going to get on the bouncy bike and I'm going to take the comfortable bike, and we'll have a laugh at Liz falling off. Almost came off the bike then. Just realised, of course, the GoPro's got stabilisation on it, so you're not actually getting a true sense of how bouncy this is. And here we are back in the village. This is the village square where yesterday evening they were playing volleyball. group of about 10 girls playing volleyball, and they were all very good actually. They have football matches here as well between the two main villages on the island. And I'm looking forward to some brunch. I'm very hungry.